is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for James Dixon! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he also hails from Coventry. He's 25 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 148 pounds. He fights out of UTC, and tonight is also his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Paul Windsor! This amateur contest is fought over 3 3-minute rounds, and your referee in charge, Mr. Leon Roberts.
Debutants, Dave, both from very good gyms, as we have James Dixon from Lions Gym facing Paul Windsor of UTC, and we've only got to look at the corners of both guys. Great levels of experience for these young fighters to learn from. Yeah, of course. I mean, you look at Dixon's corner, likes of Andre Winner there, lots of UFC experience alongside Jim Wallhead. So although amateurs, Ben, these guys should have a good ground in the sport, because those type of coaches don't put their guys in unless they're ready. Windsor for me looking slightly bigger at the weight and a little ranger as well. Both guys weighing in at the 125 limit. It's Dixon in the darker coloured Hayabusa shorts for Paul Windsor in the black and Union Jack Venom shorts, as it's Windsor who comes forward looking to counter a bit, Dave. Yeah, both guys, bit of a feeling out process at the moment. I think Dixon, he looks like a slightly more of a Thai sort of style, Ben, in the way his hands and the low kicks he's throwing. Dixon for me as well, Dave, throwing a lot of feints, which is something you generally tend to accompany. And there's a nice straight right on the pipe from Windsor as I say that. But Dixon throwing the feints out, making his opponent think a little bit. And a nice kick to come forward. He's got to be mindful of keeping the hands up at that point. Yeah, obviously, from this point of view, when you've got two guys in different stances, you've got traditional and Dixon coming against the southpaw Windsor, it often takes a little while to work out each other's styles. And from Dixon's point of view, from that Thai background, often it puts your sort of low kick rhythm out. You know, you're looking to throw little kicks to the front leg rather than the big chopping kicks from the rear. So it often takes a little while for these guys to work each other's style out. Dixon looking for the takedown, Ben. He's got the single. Trying to switch his man round if he can. He's got the head burrowed in there really nicely. So neck, no risk of the guillotine. Windsor looking at his corner, but Dixon relentless, gets his man on the ground. Nice clinch work in terms of up against the cage there, Dave, and rotated quite nicely. Yeah, it's excellent work in the scramble here from James Dixon as he tries to come out on top, but well done. Credit to Windsor, Ben, for regaining that guard. Dixon looked very busy. He was working at side control at one point, but Windsor himself came round, and Windsor looking to throw some shots and maybe push up, but we can hear Dixon's corner screaming at him to keep on top, and he's done that in advanced position now, Dave. Yeah, inside control now, James Dixon. Let's see what he can work. Windsor, to his credit, Ben, he's not lying flat on his back. Maybe looking for a choke here, Dixon. It looked like he was going for a north-south, but didn't quite have it, but skipped all the way around, keeping body-to-body contact. That's what I like the most from that position. Didn't give his man an inch of space to get up. And he's controlling the paces, Dixon, in this round effectively with his good top work. Yeah, this is good top work from Dixon, because as we alluded to earlier, Windsor's definitely busy off his back. You see he's still working for position, but he just can't go anywhere at the moment. Great top control from James Dixon here in this first period. And we're talking the shorter rounds as well, Dave. This is in the amateur division, so we're only on the 3-minute rounds with the larger gloves. So a period of dominance on the ground of maybe a minute and a half is often enough to take one of these closely contested rounds. Great sprawl backwards from Dixon there as Windsor came forward. Yeah, as you say, Ben, in this amateur format, giving up top position is just much more dangerous than it is under the pro rules, because as you say, the shorter rounds, it's obvious really, you can't give up too much positional dominance to your opponent. Obviously, he wants to plant his feet and hurt Dixon. He's got to be careful that he's not too rooted to the floor, because Dixon has shown he's got takedown capabilities. Round 2 in this amateur flyweight bout. Dixon in the shorter shorts, Paul Windsor from UTC in the black and Union Jack Venom trunks. Nice leg kicks once again from Dixon. Take your point nicely there, Dave. He could very well be a Thai stylist, because you've seen it with the snap in the kick, certainly. Yeah, he just looks a lot more on his toes, really, and even his hand position in certain areas, you see he almost creeps into traditional Thai, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dixon's
maybe fought Thai before or works a lot of Thai in the camps.
Oh, nice straight down the middle.
Likewise, Ben, I'd be surprised if Windsor doesn't work boxing, because it's rare you see as many straight punches from MMA fighters, and he looks very straight and down the middle, does Windsor.
Dixon just flicking a higher kick up there, giving his opponent something to think about. Bit more of a sense of urgency for Windsor in this one, but Dixon underneath the punch, and as he did last time, he's looking to switch from that single if he can get it. Now he's looking to grab the hands together. It's hard to see from our angles. He got the double locked. Looked like he had it for a while, but just slipped as he was trying to transition upwards.
Yeah, Windsor needs to work that whizzer on that side, or pummel in, maybe turn towards his opponent. Briefly look to his corner for instructions. James Dixon just trying to pull that leg away. Sorry, Ben.
I was going to say, so often, Dave, not maybe the most kinetic element of the sport, but certainly one of the more tiring. This grapple up against the cage. It's 100% of one force one way against 100% of force in the other, and it's really fatiguing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the fight for underhooks begins. Dixon almost trying to run the pipe at times, but he's definitely struggling to take Windsor down. Windsor had a taste of that top control in the first round, but he doesn't want to be put back there.
As we alluded to, especially in such a shorter round of these round formats. In a round that's really close like this, a quick takedown from Dixon, another maybe minute and a half of top control might be all it needs to seal a deal.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, pushing against the cage, Ben, it doesn't look the prettiest, but if you can keep busy, you know, the likes of Lee Chadwick, Caffel Pendred, these sort of guys, they work a good game in that way. They press their opponent up to the cage and just work strikes on the inside. From Dixon's point of view, he's not really staying busy enough in this position. That would be the only worry for his corner.
Double unders coming through now. It's well defended as Windsor. As I say that, he swims an underhook through now at that last minute.
Now Dixon begins to work the knees. They're not big knees, Ben, but from a judge's point of view, he's pushing his guys to the fence and he's scoring. In a round where very little is happening, Ben, this sort of thing can sway it for you, especially in a 3-minute period.
Often the difference maker, it's the intention of Dixon to press his man up there against the cage, and that's exactly what he's doing. Windsor's throwing back shots, but the biggest shots were coming up from Dixon in that period. Who for me looks the fresher of the two fighters as he wanders back to the corner.
Yeah, certainly, and it really just, for me, Ben, goes to show how far the sport is evolving in the UK at an amateur level. You see it time and time again. I mean, if we were to watch an amateur bout involving debutants, maybe, you know, even 3-4 years ago perhaps, you wouldn't see that the chess match you're getting now, you know. It's the game's moved on so much. These guys are so well rounded, even at an amateur level. You can see tactically, you know, Dixon's working a game plan out there. He's trying to game plan Windsor, and you just wouldn't have seen that a few years ago. These guys probably just met head on in the middle of the cage, you know. It's really progressing the sport at an amateur level, and shows like Fight UK are really giving these guys a platform to perform on.
Especially when we look at guys like this, the opportunities a couple of years ago, we talk about the amateur scene certainly, but at this weight, I mean, the flyweight category is something that's been newly expanded by the bigger promotions, and a lot of the smaller shows that had been doing the flyweight leagues and divisions for a number of years, their ranks have been bolstered because people can see now there is an end goal to it. If they can get good enough, get a good sequence of wins under the belt, there is the opportunity to go to a much bigger show where the flyweight division's exploding at the moment. Yeah,
certainly. I mean, you look at the flyweight pro rankings in the UK at the moment, I expect that division to change hugely in the coming years.
Once again, the straight punches from Windsor telling the tale. As you alluded to earlier, Dave, maybe some boxing in the locker of the U2C man. She's not throwing a lot in the way of hooks. Everything that comes through is straight into the point, and Dixon grabs a hold of that leg. And after the first round, I think that's where he feels more comfortable. But good for single leg defense from Paul Windsor. We talked about the pressure of Dixon in the last round, but it was matched by the single leg defense of Windsor, who managed to keep the fight on his feet for the entire duration.
Yeah, great work from Windsor to avoid the takedown, but he's in a bit of a quandary, Ben, in the stand-up scenario, because obviously Dixon's reach with his legs is longer than Windsor's reach with his arms, and whenever Windsor tries to get in the inside and mix it up with his punches and maybe get some hooks into play, Dixon just wraps him up, pushes him up against the cage and tries to engage the grappling. So great tactics thus far from James Dixon.
And after the first round, where Dixon got the fight to the floor and was able to exhibit some top control. Surely him and his corner feel that you can't be that far away if you could get another big takedown from maybe stealing it. As he gets his man up and gets his man down, that's exactly what he wanted, and that's exactly what Paul Windsor did not want. Now he's back on the canvas and he's really going to have to start working.
Yeah, I mean, from Paul Windsor's point of view, Ben, we never like to second guess what the judges are looking at, especially when we're doing a different role in commentary, but he's going to need a stoppage probably, and now he's going to have to do a sub, and he's given up his back, Ben.
He's got the hook in on the left-hand side, trying to swim the other one through as he does, and he's got the over-under, which was essential there, flattening his man out. This is great composure from two debutants, as it's James Dixon turning up the heat, but Windsor doing the right thing, trying to frame out of there.
Obviously the bigger gloves, Ben, make it slightly more difficult to get this type of maneuver on. You often see guys these days, even at this level, struggling to secure the rear naked chokes. For me, Ben, Dixon, he could just strike here. He's got a strong position. He's probably up on the scorecards. Doesn't need to fish for this sub desperately for me, Ben. Could just strike and see where that takes him.
And obviously the striking is going to lead him with a lot of opportunities, but it looks like he's maybe got it under the neck now, or has he? It seems to be quite on the chin. That's very tight. He's landing a few hammer fists.
As I mentioned, Ben, it's so difficult for these guys to get the chokes on with the slightly larger gloves. Just makes it all that more difficult. This is what I want to see from Dixon, Ben. Just throw the shots. Referee Leon Roberts taking a close look.
And it doesn't look like Windsor's opening up a lot of offense. The frantic second ball, and now he's under the neck. It looks like he's locked in. He's fighting off very hard as Windsor, but Dixon's got it locked in. Will he last out into the round? And he does.
What a finish to the round. And I tell you what, Ben, I'm very pleased for Paul Windsor there, because he deserved to go the distance in that fight. He showed some great defensive wrestling at the end, did very well to avoid the submission.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastic fight to kick off with. Let's have a round of applause for both warriors. Come on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have rendered a unanimous decision, scoring this bout 30-27 in favour of your winner. From the blue corner, James Dixon! But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Paul Windsor. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner, let's hear it for Alman. Let's hear it for Will Foster. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man, he hails from Nottingham. He's 22 years old, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighed in at 145 pounds. He fights out of Liberty Gym, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Alman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Lutterworth. He's 26 years old, stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighed in at 145 pounds. He fights for Impact Martial Arts and has a mixed martial arts record of 3 contests, 1 win and 2 losses. Let's hear it for Will Foster.
Alman in the black 10th Planet shorts making his debut against Will Foster from Impact MMA. black and red shorts.
It'll be interesting to see Foster at this weight, Ben. I understand he's come down a couple of divisions, was up as high as 170 in weight, so he's lost a lot of weight to get in here. Let's see if he's carried the power with him. Bit of an issue with the gloves, I think, Ben. Referee Leon Roberts calls time. Sorted out now. I think his little finger just slipped out of that extra little section on the army gloves.
A nice catch and a takedown. Some good up kicks coming in from Foster. Belal circles his man, looking to land some shots. And Foster, Dave, obviously got the experience. It's Belal's debut, but Foster been in there 3 times, a 1-2 record. So he's got the experience. And it looks like, is there a cut under the eye of Belal there?
Beautiful spinning back kick there.
It's on the right-hand side. Got caught by a glancing shot there.
Yeah, it looks like Belal, often you don't know too much about these guys. He's got the 10th Planet shorts on. Just ships a massive double there, but I was just about to say looks content to stand, but now he's got no decision to make in that as well. Foster gets the takedown and moves effortlessly to mount, Ben. Straight
in a mount and a beautiful double, change angles perfectly. The timing on that takedown made it a lot bigger than maybe it could have been at first. He perfectly waited for his man to come forward, and the top pressure coming in from Foster now.
Yeah, man, he's got control of his man's posture, but he's not making a point to, he's really got to shrimp out and try and get a bit of half guard going. He's shipping a lot of shots. Referee Leon Roberts having a close look, Ben. And he ends up on top somehow.
Into the triangle, straight into the triangle choke. That is a beautiful transition. Saw his man was coming across and he's got that locked in place.
Looks tight. He's tapping. It's all over, Ben. He's unconscious.
It looks like he's gone out. Just as he tapped, it looked like he went unconscious. Great stop from referee Leon Roberts as he administered the tap.
Brock Lesnar in there, Ben, having a quick look at him. One of the best medics in the business. Only the best staff at Fight UK. I'm sure it'll be okay, Ben. You know what it's like. You've been choked out yourself, I'm sure, as I have. You know, you come round, you might not know where you are for a second, but there's no real lasting damage, so I'm sure Belal will be fine.
The wild scramble from the top position, a lot of really, really big shots from Foster. But in the end, the explosion from Man, which is exactly what he needed to get himself out of that position, was what would turn out to be his undoing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 51 seconds of the very first round, your winner, due to a tap out by triangle choke from the red corner, Will Foster. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Belal Man. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 22 years old, stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighed in at 167 pounds. He fights out of Team Raw and EKBJJ. And tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Kid Norton. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from London. He's 19 years old, stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighed in at 165 pounds. He fights for Team Wallet, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Tayo Odunjo.
And Tayo Odunjo in the black shorts. Both guys, Dave, making the debut here.
Yeah. Oh, and Tayo shoots in for an early takedown, Ben. See Tayo there, Ben. Jimmy Warled in his corner. Always great to have an experienced cornerman at this level, and he looks a handful already for Kit Norton on the deck. Tayo, oh, there's some hard strikes. Credit to Norton for getting back to his feet.
Teo looks incredibly relaxed in there for me, Dave, for a guy making his debut.
Yeah, lovely little push kick in there. I believe he's attending Loughborough Uni locally, Teo. And then he thinks, why not? Let's get in the cage down at Fight UK and mix it up. But as you say, Ben, looks very relaxed. Beautiful inside leg kick there. Pushing the pace here in that southpaw stance.
Went for the front kick and very nearly landed it.
Switching his stance again now, Ben, now back to orthodox. Rarely do you see an amateur moving so confidently and switching between stances.
And so often we see it, Dave. I mean, we talk about people making the debut at the amateur leagues here. We talk about the debut of mixed martial arts, but a lot of the times you don't know the background of what other combat disciplines people have actually done. Someone like Teo, this is his MMA debut, but has he been in there before? He looks incredibly relaxed if he hasn't.
Yeah, he certainly does, Ben. He's carrying
big body kick.
His head a little forward for me, Ben. I mean, you know, when you talk to people from a traditional boxing background, they'll talk about a pole that will sort of go through the center of your head, so to speak. You don't want to move your head past that point. Your chin's out there to dry, but for me, I think Teo just relies on that athleticism, Ben, and just getting in and out quickly. He's not too afraid of having a legit guard or his head too far forward, because he can just exit out so quickly with those long limbs. It's got to be dazzling, Ben, as well. At this level, from Kit Norton's point of view, he's probably not really experienced this in the gym, let alone in a fight.
And obviously with this being his debut as well, you don't expect to meet somebody with this amount of swagger almost on a debut performance.
Certainly, very interesting fight here from Teo Ojunjo. Very intriguing to see this sort of bout at an amateur level, Ben. I mean, we spoke about it earlier on in the night, how the game's moved on. Again, we're seeing a great clash of styles here. Teo, he hasn't had a guard for a long period of this round now, Ben.
And to be fair to Jim Waller, that is, he does get caught there. Norton caught him with a big shot. And now some knees coming in from Teo.
Wow, what a flurry. It was almost as though Norton woke Teo up there with that beautiful right hook from Kit Norton, but all it did was seem to anger Teo, and once he got that Muay Thai clinch, some beautiful knees to the body. I think there's a cut there, Ben, on Teo.
It looks like it's just above the eye, hard to tell from our vantage point. In the corner of Teo, we've got Jimmy Waller there, as you were saying, taking a good look at it.
He's called the cuts guy in. It's often those, I mean, it was a solid shot from Norton, but depending on where the gloves hit, Ben, a little glancing blow. Famously, Ross Poynton cut open with a glancing blow from a glove at Cage Rage by Marius Aromskis. It was a brutal cut right through to the bone. We can't see that cut at the moment. I mean, the cornerman, the cutsman looks content to work on it, so it doesn't look like it's too bad. I thought for a second from Wallhead's reaction that it might be a bad cut, but tough to see from our vantage point. And there doesn't seem to be much blood there, Ben. He should be fine to carry on.
Difficult to see from our vantage point where that cut is. It looks like it might be right on the eyelid. It's hard very hard to see.
Very difficult, Ben, those cuts on the eyelid. Obviously, the danger being the blood going into the eye, and I expect Teo not to mess around, so to speak, as much in the second period. He's probably going to be a bit more eager to finish this now he's got that cut.
You're right, a real sense of urgency, obviously, at the amateur level. At any level, fight is safety priority, but at an amateur level, obviously, these fighters not doing it full time, so every care and attention is taken to make sure that no fighters come to harm on a longer term basis. And as we say that, Teo comes straight in, driving with that double leg again, but Norton looking content to work from the bottom.
Teo definitely looking to get busy, Ben, in this round. Very, very interesting guy to watch, Ben. Very interesting. Switching stances, shooting in takedowns, looking for ground and pound.
As we alluded to at the start, Dave, I mean, just 19 years of age, this man as well, a real bright future ahead of him.
Norton getting very busy with the punches at the bottom, Ben, but, you know, judges are told not to score the shots equally from the guy punching from the bottom position as the top, so he'd probably be better off trying to scramble back out to his feet or again that full guard for me.
Obviously, because of the amateur rules, not allowing elbows from the grounded position or elbows at all at any point, and some big shots coming through.
Oh, brutal ground and pound from Teo, Ben.
Nice hammer fist. Norton looked a little glazed for a second.
Mark Woodall's having a close look there.
Another big hammer fist coming in. He's got to be careful of giving the neck. But it's Teo driving forward, and like you say, Dave, a real sense of urgency in this second round.
Yeah, it just showed, and you know, it's all about learning at this level. A little bit of showboating and moving about. It only takes one shot, a bad cut, or one on the chin can end your night.
Norton scrambles back up to his feet, and now he's looking to push the pace forward. What a nice uppercut. And as you said, Dave, with rushing in for that takedown, Teo telegraphing a little bit, his chin was there. Norton took it, unable to get a great deal of purchase on that shot, but enough to make his man think.
He does carry his head slightly far forward if there is one criticism of his style.
Oh, nice knee to the body.
Knees. And Ben, all credit to Kit Norton. He stayed in there through this, showing great guts at this level.
Another knee to the body, and that one hurt him, I think.
Wow, what a fight, Ben, here. Great entertainment. I think, to be fair to Teo, I think he's aware of his head position. He's almost trying to goad his opponent in and counterpunch, maybe.
Oh, there's a nice shot on the left. Clipping left hook, and again leaps forward with it. Norton swinging wild. He's got to be careful of leaving his chin out there in those wild exchanges. Hands by the side of Teo. Straight in over our position as the Teo fishes for the single leg and gets it. He's going to be careful ahead, but with not so long left in the round, it's a risk he's willing to take. What a big hammer fist.
Another hugely entertaining round here, Ben, in this contest. Great clash of styles. And in Teo Adunjo fighting out a Team Wallhead, you know, it's very early to call prospects, but I really like the look of him, Ben. I think any time somebody's style is very different from the regular guys, I mean, almost sort of perhaps a point-scoring kickboxing background. I mean, you think of the likes of Michael Page with that in-and-out style, the low hands. It's hard to gauge where he's coming from, Teo, but on top of that, Ben, he's got a great single leg that he's employed. On the other hand, you've got Kit Norton, very, very tough guy, and at the moment I think he's just trying to find out a game plan in this fight, because Teo is a very complex puzzle to work out, you know.
As you said before, these debut guys, they're going to go in there and they really want to put a good show on, but it's very rare, from if you look at Norton's point of view, that you'd meet somebody in a similar debut encounter with the confidence of someone like Adunjo, and really that can do two things for him. It can either make you fight harder, or it can intimidate you a little bit. You don't want to be the start of the highlight reel of this guy, because clearly he's got a lot of flashy moves, he's got some great movement, but it does look like he's built and he's got the power to deliver those big punches and kicks.
Yeah, it really just shows the progression. I mean, you see it at the highest level of the sport, Ben, as well, the striking game. You know, the likes of Machida, the outside sort of styles of fighting. It's always changed in MMA. Oh, what a beautiful double leg takedown. This is what we were saying about Teo, Ben. It's not just the unorthodox standing style. He's got an orthodox wrestling base by the looks of it as well.
Fantastic pick up and straight into the slam, but more importantly for me, Dave, landed in a dominant position, and now he's looking to work.
Yeah, his ground and pound was, Norton, excuse me, I was just about to say that. Norton did his best job to get his back to the cage and regain that guard there. But Teo has shown very hard ground and pound in the second round, so Norton's got to be very careful here, and he looks like he might get mounted, Ben.
And Teo looking to pass that leg through. He's basically got the man if he can get his leg round. And there it is. Norton really going to struggle here. The shots are going to come in from Teo. He's really got his man crushed up there against the corner. Some nice straight punches and some hammer fists mixing him in. Norton really struggling here, but rolls, credit to him. And if he can get out the back.
Teo needs to secure that hook, excuse me, Ben, there. Bit of a loose hook on this left side. He's got it in now.
And once again we see it. We can hear Jim Wallhead screaming that he's too high, and he sits back on the hips a little bit to try and post those legs through as he steps off. And not willing to just strike and let his man bang it out. Oh, there's a front kick straight to the face.
What a straight kick from Teo Adunjo. The Team Wallhead guy really wowing the crowd here in this amateur contest at Fight UK 9.
Going for the single, but got to be careful of the angle there. Doesn't want to give his back up as he does it. Teo with the single, turns his man round and straight on top again. So again, don't even want to want to say it, Dave, but Anderson Silva-esque front kick there right up the middle.
Yeah, fantastic work from Teo. And what I like is he's almost borrowing the styles from other guys. You saw it in the second round. He's content to sit on this half guard and land the ground and pound, a la Randy Couture, excuse me, back in the heyday. You know, he's content to sit in that half guard and throw shots, and so's Teo. But I say that, move to the back,
Passes
secures
through.
the hook. Both hooks then now, I believe.
Here, Jim Warlord screaming in the corner for him to flatten his man out. Needs to get the hooks in and push through with the hips. But as we said before in the opening fight of the night, Dave, punches make such a difference in this position. And Dunjay almost once again content to step off.
Look at Kit Norton, Ben, still coming forward. What a credit to his team he is. Still in there battling.
A real tough guy, but some huge knees to the body. He's got to be careful of these. What he's going to be careful of now is the hands come down to protect the body. It frees up a knee to the head. Anderson Silva, Rich Franklin. Look at these knees coming in, but credit to Norton staying in the pocket and banging it out.
Wow, what a fight. And I tell you what, Ben, Teo Dunjo looks a great prospect, and he would have stopped a lot of amateurs then. Credit to Kit Norton for staying through that.
For two guys, Dave, to put on a performance like that, both on the debuts, unbelievable. It just goes to show, as you say, the evolution of the sport. We're looking at these guys now who are coming through making debut performances. Teo Dunjo at just 19 years of age.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have rendered a unanimous decision, scoring the contest 30-27 in favour of your winner. From the red corner, Teo Dunjo. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our 4th contest of the evening is an amateur contest fought in the welterweight division under 170 pounds. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner, let's hear it for Arvid. And his opponent entering into the red corner, let's hear it for Luke Skillen. And prize for the best walkout song goes to... You like that one, don't you? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Northampton. He's 27 years old, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighed in at 170 pounds. He fights for Rough and Ready and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 loss. Let's hear it for Alvis Anderson. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Loughborough. He's 21 years old, stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighed in at 170 pounds. He fights out of Skillen Mixed Martial Arts, and tonight is his debut in the cage. Let's hear it for Luke Skillen.
Favourite Luke Skillen in the black and white shorts. Anderson, a guy we've seen fight before, Dave, and as the gym name suggests, very rough and ready, loves to get in there and throw down, and there's some big shots coming straight through. The hooks are connected.
Wow, Skillen showed a great chin to get through that, Ben, because a couple of those hooks were right on the mark from Arvis Anderson. Great start for him. Looks the bigger guy, you have to say, at the weight. Obviously, there might be a little height difference, but Anderson looks very thick set.
Skillen's got control in there, but Anderson, explosive, trying to push it forward. Skillen going for a standing guillotine if he can get it, but struggling to get the hands locked. And straight down with a level change to a double. That was very nice from Skillen.
Beautiful takedown from Luke Skillen. He's done very well to recover, Ben, because as we said earlier, a couple of those hooks hit the mark from Arvis Anderson. Let's see what the rough and ready fighters ground games like. Skillen in top position, just about inside control there, but pressed up against the cage.
Anderson looking to get out if he can, sit through. Try and roll, but he's got to be careful of giving up position, and straight over to the mount is Skillen. Now unleashes with some shots of his own. Anderson punching back from the bottom, which isn't really what you want to do. Needs to hold on and buck and try and get his men round. The corner from Jim Wallett, exactly what the young fighter needs to hear. Push down on his face, keep the posture.
Yeah, I mean, he can ride his knees, bend right up into the armpits of Arvis Anderson, make it hugely difficult. From Anderson's point of view, he doesn't want to be flat on his back here. He's got to try and shrimp to his side, maybe try and regain half guard or break the posture of Skillen.
He's looking to throw shots from the bottom, which really isn't what you want to do, especially not from the mount position.
Looking for the armbar maybe, Skillen.
Be careful of the cage there, obviously. It looks like there's a bit of blood as well, and a very acrobatic attempt at a cage walk there almost, but doesn't quite get the elevation that he needs, does Anderson. And Skillen, fair play to him, showing some good posture up in that top position. Was content to just unload on his man. Throwing some hammer fists.
Not many getting through, Ben, but the sheer volume means Mark Woodard having a close look at things. Definitely looking for an armbar, Ben, at some point. Maybe a triangle from top.
Looks if he can sweep the legs. And Anderson out the back door. And now Skillen straight on his back. And credit to Anderson, Dave. He is as scrappy as they come.
Yeah, he's done well to survive thus far, but flattened out. Only 10 seconds to go, mind, Ben.
Skillen unloading. He knows he's only got 10 seconds left. But as you say, a lot of these shots aren't really getting through. Anderson's covering up. And that's the end of the round.
Wow, what a round. Arvis Anderson did well to survive the barrage at the end of the first there. From Luke Skillen's point of view, Ben, there's definitely some blood on him, maybe from the nose. Could have even broken his nose, possibly.
You make a very good point there, sorry, Dave. Arvis Anderson did well to survive the barrage at the end of the first, but conversely, Luke Skillen did well to survive the barrage at the start.
Yeah, the 1-2 from Arvis Anderson off the bat, couple of hooks, both hit really, really hard and almost seemed to wake Skillen up. And I guess from the point of view of an amateur contest earlier on in your career, you learn a lot about yourself in that split second, because you know you can spar hard in the gym, you can work angles and what ifs and think about it in your head, but until you get clipped that hard live, Ben, in front of a big crowd here in the Athena, you're going to really find out what you're made of. And Luke Skillen, to his credit, took his time, got composed, got the fight to the floor and worked brilliantly from there. The likes of the referees, the judges, I mean, everybody has really been to the top of the sport. They don't cut any corners here at Fight UK when it comes to fighter safety.
What a nice head kick coming straight in from Skillen, knew exactly what he wanted to do. And is he going to look to take it down to the canvas again after, maybe it's fair to say, to have a little bit of shell shock at the start. Anderson, a real, as you say, physically imposing presence, very short and stocky at this weight. Oh, and there's that right hand again, diving in. Swinging for the bleachers is Anderson. And once again, a huge big takedown, that's what he needed.
That is the problem from Arvis Anderson's point of view. I mean, when he swarms Skillen, he's landing, but it does put him in such danger for the takedown, and that's what happened.
And they had an arm choke, beautiful. Skillen swims over, is he going to get the tap from this side?
He could go out, he tapped. Beautiful work from Luke Skillen, Ben, and he survived some big bombs on the feet, but in the grappling range, he had a clear advantage over Anderson. Fantastic amateur bout here at Fight UK 9.
As you say, David, he'll learn a lot about himself from that, because he's been in those tough spots now. Skillen, very technical on the feet, but Arvis Anderson possessed that kind of power, and 2 or 3 times in that fight, he rocked his man's head back. Skillen knew what he needed to do, and once he got the fight to the canvas, initially there was clear there was a bit of a skill differential.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after just 47 seconds of the second round, your winner, due to a tap out by arm triangle, from the red corner, Luke Skillen. is an amateur contest fought in the bantamweight division under 135 pounds. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner. Let's hear it for Jack Young. And his opponent entering into the red corner. Let's hear it for Scottney. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 22 years old, stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighed in at 135 pounds. He fights for Allegiance MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 4 contests with 4 wins. Let's hear it for Jack Young. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 19 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighed in at 135 pounds. He fights out of Liberty Gym and Spirit Dojo and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 win. Let's hear it for Scottney.
Against Scottney in the white shorts, 1-0. So 2 guys, both with wins, both know what it's like to go in there and get it done, and undefeated records of both these guys on the line. Scottney with some very tidy hands early on, Dave.
Yeah, beautiful little right hand around the corner there. Hard to tell, but looks like he carries some power. Nice little low kick. He's got the tie shorts on, gives away his style.
Scottney reaching a little bit. Young,
Beautiful.
Great athletic exchange there. Young straight in on a single.
Yeah, almost a sacrifice throw there from Jack Young. You don't see that very often, and wow, what a slam. That really, really got the attention of Cannon there. He's really struggling with that. I think he's still trying to recover, Ben, now.
Scottney, you're right, Dave. The eyes looked a little glazed there. He really got slammed down hard. Would have knocked all the wind out of him. And Jack Young, to be fair, is capitalising on that in exactly the way he needs to do. And he's isolated an arm now. Now he's got mount, and here come the punches, you'd think.
Referee Leon Rotes warning him for grabbing the cage there. Oh, beautifully. Gets both hooks in there.
Straight round to the back.
Slip those hooks in effortlessly, Ben.
4-0 amateur for a reason, Dave. Very dangerous prospect. And has he got the neck? It looks like he's got it under. He has. He's got a short choke under the neck.
Gives it up as this man rolls over, but he's just back in the same situation now. Jack Young on his back.
Jack Young on him like glue as Scottney tries to stand up.
Scottney just trying to survive this grappling onslaught here from Jack Young.
Jack Young with a lot of pressure, and now he's got the arm under, but the 2-on-1 is preventing him from completing the choke. And Young is relentless with this assault, Dave.
Looking for the choke again. Is it under the chin? That looks like it could be slipping under there, Ben.
And from this position also the neck crank becomes a real possibility as you look to lock in the short choke. So we see the size of the gloves becoming an issue. Can't quite lock it in, but a lot of pain generated here. We've seen a lot of fighters tap simply from the pressure and the neck crank. Incredible work from Scottney.
Yeah,
not only come out of it, but it's starting a beautiful judo throw there.
Definitely, Ben. He's definitely got a judo background. I mentioned the sacrifice throw earlier on in the round. And now another throw, and you just don't see it very often. I only wish Josh Facepalmer was here to call the correct names.
Rubber guard coming in from the bottom from Scottney as he looks to control his man's posture. But Jack Young has shown him, Dave, that he's not here to make the numbers up. 4-0 record, and rightly so. Scottney's been in some very tough positions, and Dave, and the turning point for me was that huge slam.
Yeah, absolutely turned the round on its head. I mean, you can see the Thai shorts of Scottney and the way he came out throwing the low kicks, that he's definitely from a Thai background. But then the grappler Jack Young, some fantastic judo throws. Definitely got some experience as a judoka, I'd call. Did well to just turn that round on its head, because he did look a little, I wouldn't say nervous on the feet, Ben, but Young looked a little pensive. Scottney came out of the traps very fast, but did really well to get it back down. And as you say, Ben, definitely 4-0 for a reason.
So round 2 about to get underway. A referee all the way from the UFC, Mr. Leon Roberts, between these two great young bantamweights. Jack Young in the black shorts, 4-0 record against Scottney. The white shorts, 1-0. Both undefeated fighters, as we said, Dave, and what a first round that was.
Yeah, fantastic round, and from Kanan's point of view, he's going to be very careful here in these stand-up exchanges not to overcommit, because he doesn't want to be clinching with Jack Young. I say that, Young in a single, Kanan does well to defend it, little knee on the way out. Got a pummel in now.
Beautiful single in a reverse there. Turned his man and landed straight in a side control. As we've said all evening, Dave, at the levels of guys we're seeing in the amateur divisions, there's a lot of professional guys who'd be very proud of a takedown like that.
Yeah, the level just improves year on year, Ben. And, you know, the likes of Jack Young at this amateur level, at this age, just simply wouldn't have been around 5 years ago.
Fight UK is a promotion, Dave, let's not forget, always nurturing the amateur ranks through. Ran a separate amateur promotion at one point. So really trying to get the young fighters through, giving them an opportunity to fight, and what is a big show environment. And fighters like Jack Young and Scottney are a testament to that and passing the test. Going straight round to the back, and it looks like he's got the neck. Dynamic work from Jack Young, but Scottney once again rolling through, and now maybe looking, can he get a triangle? It looks like he's got the leg locked in. If he can pull his leg, just slipping away. If he can pull the leg.
Posture up, Ben. He's got to posture up quickly. This could be all she wrote.
Hasn't got a lot of time. Jack Young locking it in. Scottney looking to strike, but there's only a finite number of shots you can land from there.
He's turned the corner. That's going to be tight, Ben. Hard to see from a vantage point.
And goes for the armbar as well. What a submission display from Jack Young.
Fantastic work from Jack Young.
But similarly, what hard from Scottney.
That looks very tight in there, pulling down on the back of the head now.
What a battle this is between Jack Young and Scottney. Scottney, all credit to him, Dave, not submitting in this tough situation. Jack Young really got that locked in, but needs to get the leg a little bit lower down.
Yeah, from Scottney's point of view as well, he needs to work his left hand that's inside the triangle round the thigh just to create that bit of distance. Although saying that, he's punching, so he's got to be comfortable there. But, you know, the base one defense, as well as posture, is just to pull that arm that's within the triangle position there, round the thigh of Jack Young, just to create that little bit of distance, make his back and shoulder area a bit broader. But I'm surprised with...
And it looks like he's out, and he is.
Yeah, I'm surprised with the experience that Jack Young's clearly got. He wasn't able to land that choke because it looked very tight. All credit goes to Scottney for getting through that. Fantastic round again here in this amateur fight that I've just been informed, Ben. This is going to be a bantamweight title eliminator. So the winner of this fight will get a shot at the title. Both guys, Ben, definitely look worthy of that. But at the moment, it's the grappling game of Jack Young that's coming out on top.
And with that in mind, Dave, I do believe our champion Joe Rice will be looking on with a lot of interest in this bout as he looks at his opponent potentially. Joe Rice, a very talented guy, bantamweight amateur champion here at Fight UK. But what a performance from these young guys. Jack Young showed some dynamic grappling, but you cannot teach the kind of heart that Scottney has shown in this fight. The triangle, when it came first done for me, Dave, looked locked in, and the angle as he isolated the arm looked on as well. What heart from both guys.
Yeah, from Scottney's point of view, he's not showing, with all due respect to him, the greats of technique on the floor. You know, there was times where maybe he could have employed a wall walk or worked on his posture in the triangle. But who am I to judge what he's doing, because he's still in there and definitely stood up. He's a huge danger to Jack Young.
Young knows exactly what he wants to do, Dave. He wants to close the distance. And we look at how the fight started there, and Scottney like edged backwards a little bit. He's a bit pensive about coming in and committing a bit too much. Maybe he feels he's 2 rounds down. There's a real case probably could be made for that. Obviously, not got our judging heads on this evening, but from the action that we've seen, Young in the ascendancy quite a lot in those opening 2 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, from Kanan's point of view, I think he's got to keep it rangy, probably look to land those chopping low kicks, but he's putting his leg in danger of being grabbed hold of, and Jack Young doesn't need much room to secure a single takedown, as we've seen.
And I think the thing from Young as well for me, Dave, is that the punches and the takedowns are coming from very unorthodox angles. We talked about the judo at the start, and he tried to hit the sacrifice throw straight in on the single, and this is technique he's had a lot of joy with. Transitions to the double and uses the overhook to take his man down, and this is relentless grappling, but much credit to his opponent as well.
Kanan could be going for a ride again here, Ben. He doesn't want to stay in this position.
A 1 over 1 under position that we see in judo so often. The likes of Rick Horn, Caro Parisian, we've seen throw men from this position. And the sacrifice, but doesn't quite get it, and that's always the danger. Now he's transitioned straight to the arm. This is a real submission assault from the bottom from Jack Young.
Yeah, a little inkling there to why sacrifice throws aren't often used in MMA. When they go wrong, you give up position. But again, I mean, I'd have to wonder if he has a judoka background, because those guys are looking for the sub as soon as it hits the floor, what with the time limits. And the way he went for that arm. Kanan Scottney, Ben, I like what he's done there, standing up.
The submission assault that Young has presented on the floor. Certainly, why would he go where he knows his opponent wants it? He's got an edge, stood up. His striking does look a little crisper. But once again, straight in for the double. Can't quite get it, but got a hold. And now going for the guillotine himself. It doesn't quite get it. And the knee ride through to side control was beautiful there.
Yeah, Jack Young showing grappling experience beyond his years here at Fight UK 9. A fantastic show of skills from the young man representing the Lions Derby.
And Jack Young, to be fair to him, his opponent holding on the neck there. Scottney underneath, got to be careful of the Von Flue choke coming in from this position. You hold on to that headlock for too long. But from Young's point of view, he's on top and he's in a dominant position. He'll happily let his opponent hold his head all day if he can maintain this and maybe land a short knee or two to the body.
Yeah, especially as we said, probably being ahead on the scorecards as the 10-second clacker goes.
And straight again, attacking. Once again, falls back to the bottom.
Fantastic fight here at Fight UK 9 between two very handy bantamweights. Jack Young, excellent show of grappling. Kanan Scottney did well to hang in there in some precarious situations, Ben. Showed some great tie when he had the chance to. But for me, Jack Young's grappling, Ben, just a bit too much for him.
All 3 judges have rendered a unanimous decision, scoring the contest 29-28 in favor of your winner. From the blue corner, Jack Young. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Kanan Scottney. Into the blue corner, let's hear it for Maya Ador. And his opponent opponent, entering into the red corner. Let's hear it for Kev O'Kane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Birmingham. He's 25 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighed in at 180 pounds. He fights for Team Pariah and has a mixed martial arts record of 1 contest with 1 loss. Let's hear it for Maya Ador. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Coventry. He's 23 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighed in at 185 pounds. He fights out of UTC and has a mixed martial arts record of 4 contests, 3 wins and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Kev O'Kane.
So back up the ranks here at Fight UK 9. Amateur bout in the middleweight division between Maya Ador in the black shorts from Team Pariah and UTC's Kevin O'Kane in the blue shorts. O'Kane coming in with a very impressive 3-1 record. To me, Dave, looks the much taller of the fighters, and that maybe bore out in Dore's first choice of attack, looking to neutralize the range with a big takedown if he can get one.
Definitely doesn't look any less thick either, Kevin O'Kane, Ben. He looks very big compared to his opponent, and now in mount. Ador in early difficulties here.
A hook in on the right hand side, trying to slip the left one in. He might just, I'm going to say, he'll throw some punches. You've got to be careful of sacrificing the position. Ador not really moving from here, shipping a lot of punishment. Got to be careful of getting flattened out.
Referee Leon Roberts taking a close look at this.
Ador really struggling here. Right at the start of the round, not when he wanted it. Kevin O'Kane with a nice inverted trip to take the fight down. And Dan looking to land some strikes.
He definitely looks the much bigger fighter for me, Ben. I'm not sure if it's Ador looking small at the middleweight or Kane looking big, but does seem to have a big size advantage here.
Beautiful short knee from O'Kane there in that exchange. Oh, and there's another one.
I've seen people stop with those, Ben.
Very underutilized.
Yeah, definitely around the liver and the floating rib sort of area.
Most famously, you'd see George St. Pierre stopping Matt Serra with those in the second fight, UFC 83 in Canada. A deadly weapon if used properly, and it's some really good top and postural control, I think it's fair to say, by UTC's Kevin O'Kane in this position.
Yeah, O'Kane is content to sit here and score. He's got one hand hugging his opponent and just keeping there. And Adore's just can't get out of this position, Ben.
From O'Kane's point of view, why should he do anything different? He's at very, very little risk here. He's in a dominant position. He can pick the shots that he wants. There's another big knee to the side. Ador looking to land a shot if he can, but he'd really be better served trying to scramble from that position. Easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah, he's got some options. You know, he can obviously, the first one being trying to scramble back to his feet. You know, there's rolling attacks you could look at, rolling leg locks, that sort of thing, but generally low percentage sort of submissions there. Ador be just happy to ride this out, Ben, and get to the end of the round. Luckily for him, obviously, amateur conditions meaning a 3-minute round here.
Great display of control, now standing up. Got to be careful of the back of the head. Referee Liam Roberts in a prime position to warn him about those. Liam Roberts might have a little word about, I believe was an elbow strike there, but a rough round from Maya Ador. Went in to try and get the takedown, but couldn't really do anything with it. And when he was on the bottom, Dave was, to be fair, completely shut out in that round.
Yeah, fantastic open period for UTC's Kevin O'Kane. Excellent control there. I'm sure his corner will just be eager to maybe, you know, tell their man to look for the finish, Bennett. Although it was complete control, Dore wasn't really making the effort to move out of there. Okay, maybe could have looked to take the back or land more of those very powerful knees he looked to, but definitely one round to the good is Kevin O'Kane. And from my Adore's point of view, Ben, I mean, what do you think he's going to be looking for? He's definitely got to avoid the grappling exchange by the looks of things.
100%. If Kane's able to do that right at the start of the round, then when you take into consideration that both these fighters are now a round of the good, Dore spent that entire last round reacting, that entire last round trying to defend and trying to resolve a little bit. Kane there just motioning he didn't have his gum shield. Corner bobbed it through and we get started. Like I say, Dore's really got to think about what he's going to do here. He comes rushing in on the end of that jab, goes for the single, maybe trying to link the hands together but can't quite get it. And this is the spot he found himself in last time, and almost the exact same takedown. A little ankle pick.
Yeah, from Dore's point of view, Ben, he landed a few shots there on the feet, but clearly it looks as though the game plan might have been to look for the takedown early on, so he just reverted back to that. A bit disappointing from my point of view if you're looking at Dore, because like I say, he did land a couple of shots there, and now, as you say, Ben, he's just given up the exact same position that he found so difficult in the first period.
Okay, once again going round to the back, the position that he had all the success in, and basically it's a carbon copy thus far of the first round, that little ankle pick trip takedown, and now rotating through. Dore's really got to try and make something happen here, because we've seen in the first round O'Kane's got the game to shut the fight down from here effectively. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if O'Kane looks to do something different, maybe take the back, maybe go for the submission. But, you know, Ben, he is winning the fight in this position. I'm sure he's aware of that. Looking to take the back now, maybe.
As we say, but I mean, if he can just stay in a safe position and land shots, then what reason does he have to risk it all and go for those submissions, which are obviously a lower percentage? Where he is at the minute with this control, punishing his opponent with body shots. Got one hand locked in on the left-hand side. Dore's really, really struggling with this, and it's not hard to see why. And now turning it over, looking to push past the hips where he can get some bigger shots off. Ador does really well, gets himself back up to the feet. That's what he needs to do. He's got the hands linked, he has, but there's an arm in. It's going to be very, and with his opponent being a taller fighter, you're also really going to struggle to get the leverage for a guillotine from here from the standing position, especially with the arm in.
Yeah, still fishing for that neck. It's given O'Kane something to think about, Ben. He's definitely fighting the hands now, excuse me. Also maybe looking to pull that single himself, but he's definitely wary of it, Ben. He's wary of the neck there. Scoops that hand off, and his corner calls for him now to work. Now the danger's gone. Kevin O'Kane can look for the takedown.
He gets it once again, but Dore holding on underneath and look to try and roll through and posting off the hand, see if he can get back to his feet. He gets back up just very briefly. You've got to be careful of throwing the knees there.
Yeah, he had a warning for a strike in the first round. If that knee had landed, I don't want to second guess a referee of the quality of UFC's Leon Roberts, but could have possibly looking at a point, so he's got to be careful there, Kevin O'Kane. It didn't land, excuse me, Ben, it's by the by, of course.
Very much so, but Leon in a great position to objectively assess what was happening. And as we see, O'Kane getting some words of encouragement from his team there at UTC. One of the things we see a lot with Fight UK is whenever we see the representation from UTC, they're always very well schooled. They're one of the better gyms at this level, Dave, certainly at the amateur level, of coming up with a game plan and sticking to it rigidly.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the exact history of the gym, but I'm pretty sure that within the last few years there's been you know, a few changes here and there, different sort of gyms branching off and different guys coming in and out on the coaching front. But as you say, Ben, they've got a fantastic crop of fighters down there at the moment. You know, the likes of Yannick Bahati that we've seen on Fight UK, Leon Edwards. There's a great school of guys coming out of there, and it really is one of those gyms that when you see it, Ben, on the piece of paper, you know that the guy coming out is going to be well-rounded.
And obviously UFC veteran Vaughan Lee as well, making up that team. A great training ethic down there at UTC. But Ador has shown in the first 2 rounds, Dave, he's not come here to roll over. But he'll need to do something drastically different if he's going to change the outcome of this fight.
Yeah, he's had some success on the feet at the start of that round, but I'd like to see him try and strike, have a little confidence in his striking, see if he can change the current pattern of this bout.
And there we see it again. Once again, he's gone for the same thing, Dave. Punches simply look to close the distance, but the problem he's having is that he's unable to get the takedown that he wants and to get the top position. As I say that, a huge pickup and takedown, but not able to maintain the position.
Wow, credit to Kevin O'Kane, Ben, for staying calm during that, because as soon as he hit the floor, he was moving, because that was a massive takedown. But as he said, Ador, when he's coming forward with those punches, O'Kane, he's got no lateral movement, he's moving straight backwards. So it is an opportunity for him to carry on punching, but he's desperate to secure the takedown, Ismaiah. And, you know, at this amateur level, it's all experience, and game plans for these guys will come in time. So I'm sure when his corner looks back at this fight, you know, they might go into the next one with a different game plan, shall we say, because now in the third, we're looking at it in exactly the same position as we have in the previous 2 rounds.
Ador looking to stand back up to his feet, and he has done, but he's in a very awkward position here with his back given.
Ador is just struggling with the relentless forward grappling attack from Kevin O'Kane. Might be looking for that guillotine again, but the arm is in on the other side. From Dore's point of view, Ben, he's got to look to pummel in. Leon Roberts, excuse me, calling a timeout, just a little low blow in there.
It was a short knee at that point. Part and parcel of the clinch game, really, Dave. Every now and then you're going to get a knee that goes astray.
Yeah, didn't look a massive shot, but as we hear Joe Rogan often refer to, it depends really on the design of your cup, whether you've got that full tie steel cup, you've just got the small, almost, you know, cricketer's little box.
Big leg kick there from Ador. Obviously realising he's got a sense of urgency. You've got to think, Dave, if he's had these kicks in his locker the whole time, surely now's the time to let him go.
You see, Ben, when he's swarming his man, he doesn't look that comfortable, Kevin O'Kane.
Once again up, trying to get the big takedown. You've got to be careful, and big slam downwards.
Beautiful takedown from Ador, and now we're getting an inkling, Ben, to what he was looking for in the first 2 rounds, because this man has got takedowns in him.
Real chest battle, this one panning out to be, and a nice attempt at a sweep there from Kevin O'Kane, but Ador's got the fight where he wanted it, but he just didn't get, with those first 2 rounds, Dave, I think he just didn't give himself enough time to do the work he wanted to, and a beautiful sweep up and over the top, right on the death by Kevin O'Kane.
Yeah, an interesting contest. Like I say, Kevin O'Kane dominating proceedings really with grappling, but from Ador's point of view, I think his team will go back, review the video, and maybe look at look at how he can react to different scenarios and fights. He obviously went out there with the intention of working takedowns, of which he showed a couple huge ones, by the way.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our judges' scorecards. Our judges have rendered a unanimous decision, scoring the contest 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28 in favour of your winner. From the red corner, okay. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Ador. Ladies and gentlemen, our 7th contest of the evening is for the Fight UK Amateur Welterweight title, fought under 170 pounds. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner, let's hear it for Patrick McDonald. And his opponent entering into the red corner, let's hear it for Flatt. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing these title challengers properly. Firstly, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 26 years old, stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighed in at 164 pounds. He fights out of Liberty's gym and has a mixed martial arts record of 5 contests, 4 wins and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Patrick McDonald. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Birmingham. He's 21 years old, stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighed in at 166 pounds. He fights out of Team Pariah and has a mixed martial arts record of 4 contests, 3 wins and 1 draw. Let's hear it for Flatt.
So the vacant welterweight title here in the amateur ranks of Fight UK is on the line. As Patrick McDonald, 4-1 record. The white and black shorts takes on Shane Flaherty from Pariah in the black sprawl shorts.
Seen Patrick McDonald before, Ben. A very, very punchy guy. Not afraid to mix it up, as we can see here.
Throwing some big hooks.
I think that left hook hurt his man there.
Flaherty coming in, looking for the takedown. And as Flaherty moving to the top position, side control, but McDonald's got a very unorthodox offense from here. We've seen him win with a lot of submissions from his back, so we know he has got that in his arsenal.
Flaherty's corner, Ben, calling for some knees. McDonald trying to use a almost sort of reverse triangle type escape. He's going to have to roll outwards from his man and look for his man on top to base out if he can work any sort of offense there. 2 options from here. The other option is to try and turn into his man and regain the half guard.
McDonald trying to roll through, and now it looks like he's trying to isolate one of the arms. Got the legs in position. But Flaherty showing great savvy for me there, Dave. Gets out and lands a big shot from the top.
Yeah, credit to McDonald though, Ben. Not many people are dangerous from, you know, the bottom of side control. He showed he's still a threat there.
McDonald flicking those up kicks, keeping his man at bay. Flaherty looking to dive in, maybe land a big shot. He looks like for me, Dave, he's trying to find a home for that right hand. He lands a couple there. I think McDonald's here, and I think that's it.
Fantastic finish from Shane Flaherty. Got the knee on belly, Ben, and then just rained out some shots. McDonald looks a little disappointed with the stoppage maybe, but haven't really got a problem that he ships a couple of heavy shots there. Mark Woodard, obviously hugely experienced, Ben.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 9 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner and new Fight UK amateur champion from the red corner, Shane Flaherty. Now the belt is being presented by the former amateur welterweight title holder for Fight UK, who has now turned pro. Let's have a massive round of applause for Carl Bummer Boom!
Training's been perfect for this fight. I've mainly focused on my cardio. My cardio is on a whole new level to where it's ever been. Technically, I honestly feel like I'll always beat the person who last fought, the Josh Foster who last fought, and I just feel a lot better than what I've ever have. He's coming off of he's on a 3-fight loss streak, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm underestimating him in any way. He's going to be tough, he's going to be game, and I'm sure his cardio will be quite good as well. So I'm looking forward to it. I think most of all this will just be a really exciting fight. Yeah, I fancy my chances in this fight. I feel like I'm going to be better in all ranges, and that's what's going to lead me to the victory in this fight.
So opening up the professional portion of our card here at Fight UK. Experience Edge with a 5-7 pro record. Foster standing at 2-1, but Foster, Dave, also has an 8-1 amateur record, so a lot of experience in between these two.
Yeah, and I listened to an interview he did for Front Row MMA, Ben, on their podcast, and he was supremely confident going into this bout. Basically felt that he'd have too much from Mark Hanley. And Mark, as you say, Ben, experienced guy, hasn't had the best of runs recently. He's going to be very keen to not drop another loss here, as I'm sure he is always. But he's had some difficult bouts, like some Martin Wong at Alman and down in Shokanori had a tough bout. So going to be interesting to see how this goes. He's light on his feet, trying to work the strikes here, Hanley.
Bit of a disadvantage, excuse me, Dave, in terms of the reach. Throwing it, flicking off some nice combinations, leading with the left, going for an upper and then a right afterwards. And Foster, to me, looks the much bigger, got a much more lankier frame at this way, and he catches the kick and he puts him down. Almost looked for a second like he had him out there, but as Hanley rolled around, it turns out that he was okay. Anderson Silva versus James Irvin-S there.
Yeah, excellent catch there from Foster, and from Hanley's point of view, his recent losses have come via submission, so definitely keen to keep it on the feet here, but he has got a bit of a reach discrepancy. Just got to keep the head moving. He's calling his man on, Ben.
We see this quite a lot from Hanley. A short fuse nickname. He's very, very excitable when he gets in there. If he gets a shot or two, he really goes after his man and looks to come forward. And for Josh Foster, a young guy with a 2-1 record, to take out someone like Hanley would be a huge scalper. Ranked in the top 20, I believe, Dave, in the flyweight division.
Yeah, Hanley's a tough guy. He's been in there with some good fighters, and if he drops a loss, it's invariably to a tough guy. I mean, a lot of fighters think of the term journeyman as offensively, but for me, Hanley is at the top of that journeyman bracket in the case of he will fight anyone anywhere, and he will be a big task for anybody. And if you aren't a legit prospect or on your game, Mark Hanley will go through you.
A very fair assessment, I think, that Dave. And Hanley himself, I mean, we've seen he's come up short of late with some fights, losing by submission, but a very good submission game himself. Seen him attack with heel hooks, loves the rear naked choke. I've been at fights and seen him submit quite a lot of guys, so I mean, no shortage of talent, a very real threat. I mean, those 5 wins on his record haven't just magically appeared. He's put guys away, and he's looking to put a little bit of pressure on Foster. Foster, to be fair, looking very calm on the outside. Like I say, the Ranger fire, looking to pick his man apart. And he likes catching that kick and throwing his man a canvas.
Yeah, he's controlling the centre of the cage very well here, is Foster. Hanley looking busy. And for him, he's had a chance to warm into this fight now. Just a chance to gain a bit of confidence. You know, we spoke about his run, and a lot of that can be down to confidence. I'm sure the fact that Foster's given him a chance to work his hands now, he's going to feel a lot more comfortable in there now, Hanley.
It's a few times now that Foster, for me, has caught that kick and looked to turn his man round, and he's going to be giving Hanley a lot of things to think about. Once again, same thing. Catches that kick every time the hand's coming down, but could there be a tactic from Hanley? Is he going to fake a kick and maybe come over the top with a right hand or a big hook, which we know he's got?
Yeah, Hanley's really got to get on the inside here like that. Excellent attack from him there. He's got to rush his man. Just get past that reach. Keep his head movement going. From Foster's point of view, Ben, he's doing very well here. I'm sure this is the game plan. They just wanted him to hold the centre of the cage, work his longer limbs, keep Hanley on the outside. There's a little bit of blood coming down the nose from Mark Hanley now.
From Foster's point of view, the key for me, Dave, is to do what he's doing and to use that reach. Straight punch is the key against somebody like Hanley, who, because he's shorter, is having to throw his punches round to get to the target.
Yeah, sneaks a little right hand in. A little bit of swelling on the eye of Foster now, I think. And now Hanley looking for the takedown, Ben.
Hanley shoots in for the double. He's got the hands clasped together. And now he's starting to work. Right at the end of the round. And Hanley with the knee. He's got to be careful there. A big takedown. Foster looks to finish the round on top.
Guillotine attempt right at the buzzer there from Mark Hanley. And I think both corners will be content in a way there. I think, you know, as we say, we can't score the fight accurately from this commentating position. But Foster took the centre of the cage, Ben, landed a few more shots to me. But likewise, Mark Hanley, Doug Wildman and the team down there at Spartan MMA won't be too overly disappointed with that round. Hanley looked busy. Maybe he'll look for that in the second period, Ben.
Hanley, obviously a very experienced guy, and I think you're right, he went for that takedown, and I think, say, he surprised himself, but also, I mean, it was an easy takedown for him to get, and maybe that's going to give him some confidence going forward. If he is getting picked apart on the outside, using those big looping punches to set in the takedown might be something that he wants to look at in the second round, because we have seen him finish guys on the floor, especially rear naked chokes, leg locks. He's got all of that in his arsenal.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Ben, the word confidence, hugely important in any sport. Getting through that first period now and having a chance to sell it in, this bout could get very interesting.
Hanley once again, alive from Hanley Davies, not throwing single shots. He is looking to throw the combinations when he does get a chance. And once again, he's straight back to that takedown. I think from what we said in the first, he realizes that he can take his man to canvas. Falls in, tries to get a single, doesn't quite get it. Giving up a bit of a bad spot, but Hanley up and a huge pickup and slam, but doesn't quite get the finish on it that he wanted.
It was unfortunate there, Hanley, because Foster, a bit of a blatant grab of the cage there during that exchange. Mark Woodard's had a word with him. That blood pouring down the nose of Hanley now, and a nice little jab from Foster.
Beautiful straight punches. Hanley's got to be careful here.
I think he's got the blueprint, excuse me, Ben, for success. Hanley has to get on the inside and get that takedown. I think it's there for him. From Foster's point of view, he's just got to keep working this distance. His jabs are working. He's looking for the right hand now across the corner.
The overhand right from Hanley is something that we know he's got in his arsenal, and being the shorter guy against a taller guy, it's a punch that could work a lot, and an uppercut there from Hanley doesn't miss by a lot. Well, credit to Foster. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. His footwork's nice from the outside, and every time Hanley's throwing a kick, which is making Hanley think, Foster's coming back with something. He's either catching it and throwing, or he's throwing directly as he did there. Check the kick through the right straight.
Both fighters motioning to each other to bring it on.
Both marked up a bit, but Hanley looking the more marked up, and Foster shoots in for a takedown. Oh, and a nice knee from Hanley there. Really beautiful short elbow.
Yeah. Great work from Hanley, but Foster, in the eye of the judges, Ben, he's still pushing the pace and secures an excellent takedown. Hanley looking for a guillotine there, Ben.
Hanley looks to lock and control the neck if he can swim the legs round. Foster very savvy in this position for me, Dave.
Yeah, it's difficult to see from our vantage point, Ben, but I know he's definitely lost it now, and it looks as though Foster's in side control. Obviously, control with the guard, so important if you're going to look for a guillotine in that position. Hanley didn't have it, and now Foster's on top.
Knocking in some short elbows to ribs, and now dives to the back, and this is where we've seen him have trouble before. But credit to Hanley, straight back up.
Yeah, good matchup here at Fight UK 9.
Great one, kicking off the professional portion of the card after an all-action amateur encounters. And he's straight in, he's gone through the neck. Hanley's really struggling here. Attacking the neck is Foster, but look at the control from Hanley. He's trying to strip the hand down. And there it is.
It's all over, Ben. Josh Foster with the rear naked choke win. It's been his kryptonite of late, almost, Mark Hanley. Not able to defend the rear naked choke. Excellent back and forth matchup. But credit to Josh Foster, Ben. He took the center of the cage, had the better of the stand-up exchanges. And when the submission was there, he took it.
As the pro debut of James Samuda in the red and black shorts. 3-1 as an amateur against Max Cotton, 2-0 as a pro. Max Cotton, Dave, a guy a lot of people are talking about, especially after that quick TKO recently against Owain Parry.
Yeah, but he's got a very interesting opponent here in Samuda, Ben. Couldn't find out a great deal about him, but the first thing that obviously strikes you is that huge frame of his. Very tall at the weight.
Doesn't really look drawn out for it either.
No, I'd like to know the amount of weight that perhaps he cuts, or. But as it is, Max Cotton trying to keep him down. Samuda does well to get back to his feet, Ben.
Samuda gets the takedown. Samuda looking to loop an elbow over the top. Obviously, this day being his pro debut, this will be the first time that he's been able to utilize elbows from the top.
Yeah, elbows, as we all know, Ben, a complete game changer. Really, if you're the guy on the bottom, have to be extra careful to control your opponent's posture, because the slightest of elbows can open up a cut that could finish the fight. Really changes the game.
And there's one coming in over the top as we say that. And a cut as exactly as you say that. Great call.
Yeah, the slightest of elbows. Well, I say slight. They do look pretty heavy from Samuda. But a lot of blood. Cotton's just felt it. And with this level of experience, Ben, it's going to be interesting to see how Max Cotton reacts to being cut open. It looks like it's slightly on the forehead towards the top of the head, so it might not be an issue in terms of bleeding to the eye. It's very hard to tell from our vantage point, but you know, lots of fighters react differently to the sight of their own blood, Ben.
And the fights that we've seen Cotton come through, he's generally been the aggressor through the entire kind of procedure, and it's a different thing for him to see on the bottom now. And another big elbow chopping down is James Samuda, Dave.
Yeah, he's making use of that frame, Ben. He's talking up and getting some great torque on those elbows. He's keeping his head relatively low, Ben. He's just posturing up at the right moments and just sort of looping that elbow over.
And we've
Cotton
seen several
now, he's
times
just holding on, Ben.
Excuse me, we've seen several times, Dave, it doesn't take a lot of space to generate that force, and so often we see as well, it's never the blunt force trauma elbows that come in over the top that cause the cuts. It's ones like that one that slice past the target.
Yeah, I mean, you see people of a similar frame, Ben, employing those sort of elbows. John Jones comes to mind. You know, there's two types. There's the type T or T is the shorter sort of frame that come in and drop the forearms and everything and keep it all tight and compact. And then these guys with the long arms that are able to just loop over the top. A lot of blood here from Max Cotton. We can see very clearly now, Ben, a huge amount of blood.
And like you say, Dave, a complete game changer. The guys you talked about, like the John Joneses, the David Loazos also.
I'm not sure if it's intentional from Samuda, Ben, but that elbow was just on the exact same spot. Now almost a can opener, Ben.
Just utilised the space enough to land that elbow. This is a tough round for Max Cotton to deal with. He's got to be careful and can't throw an elbow of his own from the bottom.
Yeah, from Cotton's point of view, Ben, he's either just got to, you know, get the double overs almost like he's looking for now and hold on to his man and hope for a stand-up, or he's going to have to create some distance to try and stand up himself, because he's really struggling in this situation here with Samuda on top of him.
Samuda dictated the pace effectively of this round with some top control and some short chopping elbows. Max Cotton, a lot of the time we've seen him on top, we've seen him throwing big punches, a very good stand-up striker, but he's really been stifled here by his opponent. And we talked about the riddle of the range. We often think of the rangier fighters having an advantage primarily stood up. A huge elbow goes in. Samuda demonstrating that range can be an advantage on the ground, because he can put himself in positions where he can strike his opponent and his opponent can't strike him.
Yeah, certainly the most difficult round of Max Cotton's career thus far. He's done well to stay in there. It's hard to see, Ben. Is it just an unorthodox grip and grab of the hand from Samuda, just trying to link Cotton's own hand behind his head so he couldn't defend himself again?
A punishing first round that for Max Cotton. Cut team are going to have a look at it, and disappointment clearly on his face. And the rounds that we've seen him, Dave, the fights that we've seen Max Cotton in, it's very rare we see him lose a round. How is this going to play onto him? So many times we've seen fighters who've come in and won all the fights in aggressive and explosive fashion. When they're pegged back, we often find out a lot about what we know about a fighter from those situations. I'm reminded of Rashad Evans when he fought Phil Davis. Phil Davis, after that first round, went back to the corner a broken man, the first round that he'd ever lost, and he really struggled to deal with it as a result of that. Are we going to see the same thing out of Max Cotton, do you think?
Yeah, it's very interesting, Ben, and you know, until we see it, we really don't know. It's pure speculation, but Max Cotton, he's getting his breath there, he's listening to his corner man. Outwardly, I think, he's in a good place, but one thing he does know, Ben, he knows he doesn't want to be in the bottom, and we found it difficult to get information about Samuda, so no doubt Max Cotton's camp did. So at least now he's got an inkling to where he's in trouble. And as I said, he looks okay. The blood's just about been stemmed, I think, by the cut team here. So it's going to be very interesting this round, but at least from Max Cotton's point of view, Ben, he knows where he doesn't want to be now.
Both fighters ready. Samuda for me, Dave, breathing a bit heavy in that corner. Cotton firing out a 1-2. And a big kick from Samuda. Cotton lands some uppercuts, good dirty boxing on the inside.
Yeah, it just does seem to be struggling with that frame in the clinch, does Cotton. And now Samuda with the double unders, and Cotton almost seemed to pull guard there. I mean, I'm sure Samuda was putting pressure on his lower back, but that was too easy for him to get into a position where he's been so dangerous from Matt Cotton's point of view.
Cotton's got to really make something happen from here. He can't take another round of the similar thing that he caught last time. And certainly from Samuda's point of view, Dave, if he was to dictate another round and land a lot of big shots, if he spends the entire 5 minutes, could we see a case for a 10-8, which in a lot of respects would put the fight completely out of his grasp?
Yeah, certainly, Ben. I mean, when you're looking at a round with just such complete domination, and not only domination, you're looking at points where Cotton was perhaps hurt as well physically. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely there for Samuda.
Samuda with those long legs, trying to get the hooks in, and that's something else about this long rangy frame. Those hooks can come in from the unorthodox angles that maybe you're not used to getting them in from, not used to defending from.
He's trying the choke with just the single hook in.
It looks like he's got a short arm choke on here. He's got it under the neck. The Cotton taps.
Wow, Max Cotton looks absolutely shell-shocked. This guy, James Samuda, out of Fearless MMA, if we didn't know anything about him before the fight, Ben, we know something about him now. What a prospect that kid looks.
And Max Cotton, a guy that a lot of people are talking about, a lot of hype behind this kid, very, very tough. Didn't have an answer for a lot of the skills that Samuda was able to bring to the table. Specifically, I think the length that Samuda used in a lot of positions. He used his height very well. It's one thing to be tall, it's another thing to fight tall.
Excellent point, Ben. And, you know, it's a conundrum that the other welterweights are going to face at Fight UK. I mean, how do you break down James Samuda? Interesting to see his next bout.
Your winner by a tap out due to a rear naked choke from the red corner, James Mercamante Samuda. And the first fighter to enter the octagon, into the blue corner, let's hear it for Chris Cony. And his opponent entering into the red corner. Let's hear it for James Hurrell.
Camouflage shorts against James Hurrell. A colossal light heavyweight, stands 6'6", 5-3 record in the black shorts. And Hurrell, this is his second fight, Dave, at light heavyweight. We saw him at the last Fight UK where he came up short. No bad thing really against Mikhail Andrzejczak. And it was that prompted his move down to light heavyweight. Felt that he had the frame for it. But Koniecki himself is going to be no stranger to a tough fight like this. Fought Mark Goodbeer, Rob Krzyzewski.
Yeah, he's been in with some tough guys. Oh, and he's just shipped a right hand there, though. Hallam trying to swarm his man here early, Ben. He's on top in mount. This could be George Giraud.
James Hurrell is landing a lot of punches. It's really going to be hard to see where he comes back from this. Koniecki really struggling. James Hurrell being warned for grabbing the fence, though. Another shot to the back of the head. James Hurrell landing a lot of punches.
Close look from referee Leon Robertson. It's all over. What a performance from Matt Hallam. Freight train, Ben. I've gone and done it, Ben, haven't I? I was looking down the card and I've called James Harold Matt Hallam. Low point of my commentary career. What can you say?
It happens to all of us. Don't worry about it.
It does happen to all of us. And I've done an absolute... do you know what? No, they haven't got similar faces, actually. They're both units. That's the only comparison I can make to them.
Leon Roberts calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring a winner by TKO from the red corner, James Harold. But let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Chris Cony.
Training's been going really well. Had a good camp, got my weight down good for the fight, rehydrated good after my weigh-in, so yeah, everything's gone really well. Looking forward to it. I've seen him fight against a friend of mine, Martin, on the last Fight UK. Did really well, got a good gas tank, you know, he's got good boxing, decent wrestling, so yeah, he's game, so I think it'll be a good brawl in there tonight. Yeah, of course fancy my chances, we don't do this to lose, so, but you know, somebody's got to lose. I'm quite happy going in there. I've got an open mind for this one. As long as I have a good fight, I don't really mind losing. As long as it's a really good brawl, I get a good fight out of it.
Training's going, yeah, it's gone really well. Like always pushing it hard, pushing the fitness, pushing the technique, everything. Sparring's been going well as well. Sparring with a lot of guys, different guys. Molly Mann, Paul Reed, Wes Merch. Loads of other people up Olympians, MMA, people up Iron Man, all over really, getting some good boxing sparring in as well. Yeah, he's had a fair few fights, it's quite good, quite technical. But yeah, it should be a good fight, definitely. It'll be a tough fight, but it'll be a good fight. Always like to bring it, so yeah, should be a good one. Well, I'm always going to win, definitely. Don't ever go in there to lose. Get in there and do the business. Thank you. Excellent. Cheers.
Into the blue corner, let's hear it for Nard Narini. Opponent entering into the red corner. Let's hear it for Carston. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He hails from Bristol. He's 26 years old, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. He fights out of Iron Man MMA and has a perfect mixed martial arts record of 4 contests with 4 wins. Let's hear it for Nard Narini. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 32 years old, stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. He fights for Archer MMA and has a mixed martial arts record of 10 contests, 7 wins and 3 losses. Let's hear it for Carston, the Archer.
Narini, a real prospect, a huge 145er in the black shorts, 4-0 record against Carston Langeois. The Ultimate Fighter qualifier with a record of 7-3, and this is his first trip back up to featherweight after a 0-2 stint at bantam. Fought some very tough guys and feels that this is where he's more naturally strong and a better weight class for him, Dave. Yeah,
we've seen both guys at Fight UK before. Nad coming off that split decision win against Marcin at Fight UK 8, I believe it was, which is an excellent back and forth war on the feet. Carston, as you say, came up short on Fight UK against bantamweight champion Dino Gambetesa. But Carston, he's a very solid pro, Ben. He's got good wrestling. And in that fight against Dino, he was pushing the pace on the feet as well. It's a great matchup here. Nad, the likes of Bellator's running man in his corner.
Real feeling out process this. Interesting stat about Carston, Dave. Of his 10 fights, none of them have gone the distance. All 7 of his finishes have come within the time, and all 3 of his losses have as well. And it'd be interesting to see how rejuvenated he feels he'll be at featherweight. Last saw him at featherweight at Fight UK 3, where he took out Dinky Ninja's prospect Dean Riley with a second round TKO and firing a kick to the body as Narini. If you remember, that's what Gambetesa did. That's a big left hook.
He's hurt him there,
I think he's hurt him. Going straight in for the single. It's a huge left hand.
Yep, that shook Carston Lendroit down to his foundations there. Looked in real trouble. And to give credit to Carston, Ben, he immediately looked for the takedown, which he seems to have just about secured there.
He's really done the right thing there. That's some real savvy. That's a real veteran move. A nice uppercut. Carston opening up himself the second there was any breathing room. And I do like to see that from fighters.
Yeah, that's what you get when you've got a solid pro like Carston. You know, been in there lots of times, been hurt before, and he's done well to recover and secure the takedown.
Beautiful single, keeps hold of it. He's kept the double unders in this position. I say a real veteran's move that from Carston. Felt the pressure coming. Now landed that big left hook, but unable to get the punches he needed to put his man away. As you say, Carston Lendroit, a real solid pro, fighting out of Archer MMA.
Yeah, it really is a great matchup on paper, this, Ben. Has he hurt him on the way down there? Just a bit of a trip, I think.
He caught a shot, and this is a bad spot. He can't use the legs to properly defend himself at this point. Some big punches coming in from Narini. A real unit down at this weight, featherweight.
He certainly is, Ben, and everything he throws seems to be with bad intentions. There's no range finders from Nad. Everything's thrown with full, flat-out power.
Big shots coming in. And he's that powerful up on top that Carston's really struggling to control the posture, and that's the problem that he's having. He's unable to stop Nad Narini from getting his head up to the ceiling and really driving through with those punches, and that's where the big shots are coming in. And rolling through for the armbar though, beautiful switch of the hips.
Wow, fantastic hips from Carston. That came out from nowhere, Ben.
Has he got it? He's got it in position. Carston pulling for all he was worth, trying to finish the submission hold. There's the posture and the strength of someone like Narini.
Wow, fantastic effort from Narini to end up on top there in that scramble as well, Ben. That was close and just shows how threatening Carston is.
For me, Dave, it really goes to show that's exactly what Carston needed to do. Flick the hips up again, but Narini out of the way and back through in the top position, but Carston pursuing. A great back and forth contest. This isn't the first round here at Fight UK.
Yeah, from Naramini's point of view, Ben, he knows he's got something to think about when he gets in the top position. If he gets in the top position again, he's certainly not going to be thrown with the reckless abandon that he was earlier on in the round, because Carston did look dangerous, but now the plum tie clinch, a lot of those are hitting the arms.
Carston shooting once again. Got to be careful of the neck, but Carston saw it coming and used it to take his man down. This is high-level stuff here at Fight UK 9 between two very solid, respectable pros. And now it's Carston turning the power on, fishing underneath to try and get through the neck.
Yeah, all credit to Fight UK matchmaker Ali Petit here, because this one is so evenly matched, Ben.
We've said it so oftentimes with David, who'd be a judge, a real back and forth one this.
Yeah, impossible for us to call from the commentary position. We have very experienced judges here. All 3 of the judges here at Fight UK tonight have worked at the highest level of the sport with the UFC, so the fighters are in good hands from that point of view. But what a back and forth round. Narini hurt Lendroit early on in the round. Carston did well to recover. And Ben, it's going to be interesting to see where this bout ends up. I mean, from Narimini's point of view, do you think he's just going to be looking for the stand-up? He had some success in the top position when it went to the deck, but that armbar did look close.
I think Carston did the right thing by not laying back and not letting his opponent land the ground and pound, really, not only for his own safety, but it gives his opponent something to think about. Now Nard will think twice about the top position. He won't think, oh, I'll be fine, I can just rest on here and throw the occasional shots. If he's in the top position, he's got to know that there's going to be punishment coming his way. That being said, out of the two strikers on paper, I'd maybe give Carston the edge, kind of stood up. That's not how it's played out, because I think Nard's got in his head with that big left hook. I think that shot really hurt him and made him rethink his strategy a little bit.
Yeah, very evenly poised here at Fight UK 9. What a credit these two are to one of my favourite divisions in the UK. Big right hand!
Huge right hand. Narimini's got that power, you're right, Dave. No use for a jab here.
What is Carston Lenjoy's chin made of, Ben? How has he survived that shot? Because that looks so solid from where we are. He's done great to go and seek the takedown again. Almost a carbon copy of what happened in the first period.
Carston really is tough as they come. As we talked about the veteran and the ring savvy, real presence of mind for me, Dave, in that. Took a big shot, but straight away went in for the takedown. Knew his opponent would be coming forward. Obviously something that they've drilled in case these kind of situations happen.
Yeah, confidence is a two-way street as well, Ben, although Narimini's going to be obviously delighted he's landed that huge blow. I mean, when does he begin to question how can he put Carston away? Beautiful throw by Carston. Can't work the wizard though, and Narimini turns out on top.
Narimini's got the back, and now he's firing some punches in. Carston keeping one hand down, but he's got to be mindful of the punches. He couldn't get Nard in that position, but he can now. Now he's up, and he's looking at base and turn round. And Narimini, a real imposing presence at this weight, Dave. Using all of that muscle, all of that strength to drive his man into the cage.
Yeah, certainly a wake-up call as Carston returns to this division, Ben. Obviously would have gone down a bantamweight to try and look for a size advantage, and now he's back up at feather against a very, very thick-set guy at the weight in Narimini.
It's almost a case for a lot of these guys. It's very difficult. It's almost a damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you fight at the bantamweight division, you're gonna look to fight against a lot quicker guys, and the pace is going to change. Where you go back up to a bigger weight category, you're going to get somebody like you say, like Narimini, who clearly cuts an awful lot of weight to get down to this bracket. Hugely muscled guy.
Yeah, and it's also the technology and how these guys are doing it as well. I mean, obviously in the UK scene, we're behind America in the terms of weight cutting, and you know the kids are.
Oh, it's a nice
beautiful
uppercut.
left,
oh,
left over the
again.
top. Wow, brutal Narimini. Carston doing a good job blocking these knees, Ben. Most of them hitting the forearms. If I was Narimini, I'd go looking for the dirty boxing again, because that really found a home.
A nice lead from Carston there, but Narimini firing one in himself. I think Carston's hurt here, Dave. He's surviving on nothing but heart.
Yeah, definitely looks, the eyes almost look glazed over for a second. What could have been to the body, it's hard to see.
Oh, and another big shot going in, but some nice uppercuts. But for everything that he's giving, everything that Narimini's kind of coming forward and throwing, Carston's right there with him, throwing back when he can.
Yep, game as they come is Carston Lenjoy here. Little lull in action here. Both fighters probably trying to get their breath. Referee Mark Woodard separates them.
Good separation that for me. From Carston's point of view, once again, his chin is out there.
Did land a couple of left hands himself, Carston, from the back of that southpaw stance.
As you say now, another big shot. Narini the 1-2 and a kick to the body, and now he drives forward, and that's where he has his man in trouble. When he drives forward and throws those big punches, as you say, he's not throwing many in the way of jabs or feeler shots. He's loading up on those punches and throwing with reckless abandon.
Yeah, close first round. But at the moment, Lenjoint really struggling in this one. There's some blood, Ben, but in a contest like this, it could be from anywhere. I think Narini may be bleeding from the nose. Lenjoint may be bleeding from the mouth.
As we say, it's hardly surprising. Both have shipped some big shots. Narini ploughing forward with those knees.
We often talk about, Ben, how tiring the clinch game is just when somebody's pressed up against the cage, but these two are hugely active in it as well. Dirty boxing, knees to the body. Just absolutely shattering action here.
Ten seconds left at the end of the round. Narini looking for a takedown, and he gets it. Clever way to finish the round. Big right hand there.
As I mentioned, Ben, first period was close. I think that was a lot clearer here. Narini beginning to get the upper hand. And from Lenjoint's point of view, Ben, he's had some success on the feet. He landed a couple of good left hands from the back of that southpaw stance, but when the power shots come in, they're landing from Narini, Ben, and they are hurting Carston.
Very much so. Narini, I mean, if you're looking at, in terms of the guys you tip to probably finish this one, if somebody is going to get the job done and get it done here, you've got to think that it's Narimini's fight to finish. Not that Carston can't finish this fight, because he can do. He's shown the submission threat in the first round, but as this fight goes on and on, it gets more difficult for him to land something like that. So here we go in the third and final round of what has been an action-packed back and forth encounter between two great featherweights. Carston Lenjoint, a guy we've seen a few times, real great professional, real talent. And Narini, he's fighting a guy that a lot of people are talking about, and on the basis of this performance, Dave, it's not hard to see why.
No. We've mentioned it more than once in this fight, but fantastic matchup here. Going to be very interesting to see this third period. Carston shooting in for the takedown early. Great sprawl by Narini. Narini, takes the back. Excellent, Ben. Looks for the trip. Does seem to still have a bit of spark in his step.
Narini gets the trip that way. I thought he may look the suplex, and the hook goes straight in on the right-hand side.
Yeah, excellent work from Narini. Many people would go for the trip, even if not the suplex, Ben. People would be looking for the trip backwards. He took his man forwards and took him by surprise. Flip the hooks in.
And at this high level, often that's the difference, Dave. Small twists and turns like that, they do make the difference. As Narimini's trying to get the arm under. It looks like he's got it under. It looks like it's under the neck. Carston's trying to strip the hand. Narini incredibly strong. He might go palm to palm at this point, and I think he is.
Carston desperately, hang on, turns into his man. Narini does well.
Oh, and this is a tough spot. Turns straight in the mount position. Carston with that real professional never say die attitude for me, Dave. Pushing forward throughout. Whenever he's in a bad spot, he doesn't stay there for long. But right now he's got an absolutely titanic featherweight on his back. He's really struggling. The arm looks like it's going under once again. As we say with the gloves, a lot harder to thread those hands through.
Narini loses one of the hooks.
Maybe looking for a body triangle.
Yeah.
Straight with the hooks, great control, but Carston, if he can, looking to base his man off, try and twist a little bit, but Narimini's got great control, Dave, from that top position.
Yeah, he's not too high, Ben, so it'll be incredibly difficult to shake him off. Carston trying to pick the hooks out. He's done so. Could give up the arm in the process.
Got to be very careful of that arm, but he's done really well there. What a performance this is from both these guys. A great
going for the guillotine, Ben.
It looks like he's swimming it through. He's landing some knees to the body.
Narimini's corner calling for him to turn, and that's exactly what he does.
For me, Dave, I think the story of this has been Carston's really struggled to deal with just the physicality of someone like Narini in a lot of respects.
Yeah, as we said, Ben, stepping back up to this featherweight division, it's always going to be the difficulty for him. Narini does have the more imposing frame, although it has to be said, Carston looks to have a little reach on him, but reach doesn't matter when you're getting pressed up the cage like now.
It's a perfect, clever fight from Narini. And I think the great work from him was done right at the start with that sweeping left hand. Now it looks like almost he's trying to hook the leg, and maybe Carston did well there, and he's got to turn around. Land some shots on the inside. You can see maybe the knees are going to come forward from Narini.
He was a little sluggish when the fight is separated there, Carston, and who can blame him? It's been an absolute titanic battle here at Fight UK 9.
A nice short elbow.
Inside elbows, beautiful.
Carston only around about a minute and a half away from the end of this one. There's what has been a back and forth encounter. Landing the knees, but Narini looked to get the clinch if he can get it. Carston firing some shots in, trying to get something, but he really seems to be struggling with the separation, Dave.
Yeah.
It's that style we've talked about so many times. We see fighters like Kyle Pendred, Lee Chadwick, often using this kind of technique, but what I like from Narini is he's mixing it up when he gets the chance. It's not all offense on a single level. He'll break from there to grab the clinch and throw knees to the body, throw uppercuts as he's doing there.
Yeah, and if it wasn't such a wily campaigner as he's got in front of him now, I mean, he could have stopped a lot of guys. Then Joint's done well to block a lot of those knees with his forearms, because Narimini's throwing everything into him. Brutal, dirty boxing from both guys on there.
Both guys really leaving it all in there, Dave. For me, a surefire fight of the night contender right here.
Yeah, fantastic fight. Narini now looking for the takedown. Carston still has the energy to shrug that off.
And there's a crack of the last 10 seconds. Carston knows he's got to throw, but Narimini's not really giving him the space. He's pushing forward, landing knees himself, and both stand there trading as the bell finishes. Wow. What a phenomenal encounter from those two.
Great to see both fighters embrace. There was a bit of a to-do at the weigh-in, but both fighters obviously have a lot of respect for each other.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of hard-fought action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score the fight exactly the same way, 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Narini. Well, let's hear it for a fantastic runner-up. Let's hear it for Carston Lejoie.
It's been going really well actually. Like I said, I've had a good training camp come up to this fight now. We're training some of the best guys in the country down at Children Free Fighters in Cheltenham and Gloucester. It's been alright, it's been good, and hopefully I can perform that on the night tonight. To be honest, I don't know much about him. I know that he comes from a decent camp, you know, Jimmy Warley's camp. I've seen his last fight, he's comes out pretty aggressive and he's a pretty big guy as well, and obviously he's a home favourite as well in Leicester, you know, and he's going to have the home support here, but we're going to see what happens on the night really, and see what happens really. Well, I haven't really got a game plan, to be honest, mate. I just, like it's MMA really, anything can happen on the night really. I'm going to go in there, you know, try my best and hopefully get my hand raised and come away with the W really. Whether or not it's a knockout, whether or not it's a submission, or whether or not it's ground and pound, I still want the W. No matter which way, I want to get it done.
Training with Roughhouse, out of team Roughhouse, so the training's always good. Developed a bit more on the wrestling side. Striking's coming on well, sparring, conditioning is always good. You know, it's just what you put into the training, and I feel like I put in quite a lot this time. So yeah, training's good. I'm happy. Not much footage on him. Spoke to a couple of guys from around the same area. You know, I know he's going to come out there, main event. he's going to come in tough, hard. So we'll just have to see what happens. None that I'm willing to discuss.
How do you rate your chances?
Chances are very good. You know, most coaches have been absolutely fantastic. So it could be a quick fight tonight.
This is our main event of the evening. This is a professional contest fought in the Fight UK middleweight division under 185 pounds. And the first fighter to enter the octagon into the blue corner, let's hear it for Nick Nard. And his opponent, entering into the red corner, let's hear it for Hallam. From Wolverhampton. He's 30 years old, stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, and weighed in at 185 pounds. He fights out of Trojan Free Fighters and has a mixed martial arts record of 5 contests, 3 wins and 2 losses. Let's hear it for Nick Nard. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He hails from Nottingham. He's 34 years old, stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighed in at 185 pounds. He fights for Team Roughhouse and has a mixed martial arts record of 3 contests, 2 wins and 1 loss. Let's hear it for Hallam.
Here we go. In the middleweight division, Matt Hallam in the white shorts against Nick Nard in the black Union Jack shorts. Nard, a guy we've seen fight up as high as light heavyweight, and Hallam storming forward, aggressive as he is, straight in for the takedown.
Yeah, Nard narrowly missing weight for this fight as well, Ben, I believe. Shows the real size of the guy coming down. As we've seen, Ben, it can often work in different ways. Either you carry that weight advantage, but he would have probably killed himself trying to get down there as well, so how's his cardio going to be?
I do know that he had two attempts to get it, and the weight that he stopped at, which was, I believe, in the neighbourhood of 188, 187, was his second attempt. His first one, he came in at around about 191.
Wow.
So he did cut an extra maybe 3-4 pounds. So as you say, it's going to make a very big difference, as someone like Hallam, we know, a colossal middleweight. Came up short in the last time we saw him at Fight UK, however, though, Dave, in that phenomenal encounter against Yannick Bahati.
Yeah, fantastic fight, and didn't lose anything really in terms of respect there, Matt Hallam, because Bahati is such a contender and he's gone on to win on bigger shows. And now, Ben, Hallam in the mount position.
And this is a real tough ask this early on. Matt Hallam was known for his heavy top game, thunderous ground and pound.
Tough spot for Nick Nard right now.
We hear Jim Warlett in his corner, Hallam's corner, giving him advice, telling him to posture up.
Yeah, looking to create that separation as Matt Hallam and start raining down punches. He's in a great position still early on in this round. Nard just desperately trying to hold on to his posture there, Ben.
Nard really going to have to struggle free, and Hallam, here come the punches, taking a lot of really tough ones. Got to watch the back of the head though.
Big shot, big elbows,
Nard really struggling here. It looks like Hallam's going for the kill. Nard not offering a lot in the terms of defence, and that's a great stoppage.
Matt Hallam, wow. What an impressive finish, Ben. He smelt blood and the elbows were brutal from top position.
Bob may not be happy with the stoppage, but you've got to look at the fact, Dave, was he offering an intelligent form of defence? For me, he was turtled up and just covering the head. The shots were coming in, and Mark Woodard, to be fair to him, gave him several warnings to improve his position.
Yeah, I've got to say, Ben, I'd like to see the replay, but on the face of it, I've got no problems with that stoppage. And Harold, let's face it, Hallam, excuse me, let's face it, he wasn't going anywhere, Ben. He was in that mount position. He would have simply carried on raining down blows had the referee not stepped in.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes and 6 seconds of the very first round, your referee, Mr. Mark Woodard, calls a stop to this contest due to ground and pound, declaring your winner by TKO from the red corner, Nard Hallam. Well, let's hear it for a very gallant runner-up. Let's hear it for Nick Nembar.